speaker. And he's come today. I don't know if I've timed this right, so we're going to get motivated before lunchtime. So we're got enough food that we can handle that fervor for the feast. But he's here to talk to us. Coney is a regular at this, and he's here to talk to us about how we can do our jobs and our outlook on the day better. And I'm going to hand over the floor to him, but he's going to ask for some volunteers too, so don't be shy. So I say, come on up, Stoney.
Good morning to everybody.
Good morning.
Morning. I want to thank first of all Eric for allowing me the opportunity to come in and speak with you today. There were some things that Eric wanted me to touch base with you on to help in the process of you earning more money. How many of y'all like to make more money? Raise your hand. Okay, good. Well, the three things that I'm going to talk to you about today is hopefully going to help in that process. The first thing that Eric wanted me to touch base with you on was owning your route. Owning your route. How many of y'all actually go from business to business, place to place? Okay, good. Okay, so you have an opportunity to meet the public face to face. And so because of that, you become the face of the company. The people that you service, they should know you so well to where they're even shocked that you have a supervisor. Because the route becomes yours. They should know that you are there to help them. You are there to meet their needs. You are there to be the solution. And we'll talk about that a little later. But owning your route means that the people on your route should know you. They should expect you. They should know when you're coming. They should know that not only are you there, but that you're helping. How many of you have ever wanted to meet someone famous? Anybody? Okay, now, who would you like to meet that's famous?
Miranda Lambert.
Okay, all right. Now, how would you want to be dressed when you met her?
My boots, my belt buckle.
Okay, so you would like to be presented. Anybody else? Anybody else want to tell me who they want to meet? Anybody? Come on, y'all can speak up, man. Come on.
Living or dead?
Who?
Living or dead?
Let's see living. How about that? Living.
How you gonna be dressed if they're dead? George W. Bush.
George W. Bush. Okay, now when you met him, how would you want to be dressed? Just like he was. You want to reflect the person that you're going to meet. Well, when you meet your customer on your route, your presentation, it says so much about you. Your presentation says that you care about not only yourself, but the company. Because you're representing not just the company, but you're also representing yourself. I work at the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, and there was a time when somebody told me, said, Sakoni, you always dress nice. And I was like, really? On the days that I didn't have a chance to put on my best, I kind of stayed at my desk. On the days that I had a chance to dress up a little more, not that I pranced around, but I wanted people to see me in my best light. And that's what I'm trying to help y'all understand, that even on your route, your customers seeing you dressed well, it says a lot about you. It puts in their mind that you are a professional, that you care about yourself and your company, that you represent yourself well. Now, when you consider the fact that you meet people from different backgrounds, from different walks of life, but you still treat everybody with dignity and respect, they know that you're there to help them out, it makes a difference. When they see you coming, they're relieved. Like I said, you can become the solution. You can actually be the solution for the problem. When people call you, they have an issue, they have a problem, and they're looking for you to meet that need. They're looking for you to be the solution to their issue. Now, I know for in fact, my own self, I've had stuff come up in my house, in my home, that, my knowledge had been tapped out. So I had to call somebody, and I had to trust them to do what I couldn't do. And you, even as a technician, you have to trust your customer. Because you don't expect them to have you running on a wild goose chase. They need to show you where the problem is, what the issue is, but then they expect you, in fact, to be the one to meet that need. And so keeping those lines of communication open with them is so important, because they don't know. And you know what? I used to I used to work on the information management help desk. And one of the things that I found myself doing, not that I was the smartest person among the group, but what I did was what little information I had, I shared with the customer. A lot of my colleagues, they would go and they would actually just fix the problem and say, okay, you're done, and then they would leave. And the customer would be like, well, what did you do? You know, what happened? What caused that? But I would take the time to at least explain as much as I knew to them, to where when I left, they were a little bit more educated about what was going on. And they saw that as value. And it got to the point to where they would call and ask for me. And of course, my colleagues, they started getting upset because of that, but I tried to share with them. I said, what I do is I try to educate people in the process. Because see, my philosophy is this: if I don't have to keep coming back for the same issue, I can learn something else. That means I can be growing myself. I can stay 10 minutes ahead of them. But oftentimes, people try to take stuff and try to keep it to themselves, and that's not how you grow. And when you're dealing with the public, I mean, just sharing information, they may not even remember it, but what they'll remember is that you shared with them, that you educated them, that you taught them something. I remember doing a video about how to be unforgettable. And that's how you make people feel. Think about it. You have memories in your life. Let's say, think of some good memories. You know, in fact, when you maybe had your first kiss, or when you got your first car, or bought your first home. Now, those are good memories. But now, let's think of some sad memories. Maybe your car was stolen, or broken into, or maybe even somebody broke into your house. Those things are also bad memories, but why do you remember both of them? Because of the emotion that was associated with them. You have happy memories, you have sad memories. The ones, or the things that happen in between, they're uneventful, because they don't have a memory. Because see, memories, they are highlighted by your emotions. When you are dealing with the public, when you're dealing with your customer, if you invoke a feeling of happiness, a feeling of this guy is here to help me, if they come away with that from your interaction with them, they will remember you in a positive light. But this also goes the other way. If you have a negative encounter with somebody, they're going to remember you, but not in the best light. So it's your job to actually focus on making it the best possible experience for the customer. So that they will know for a fact, okay, this person is here to help me. Now, I did mention about doing or having some volunteers, but I'm not going to put you on the spot like that, because I know sometimes that can be somewhat challenging. But I do want to give you an example about being the solution for your customers. Now, imagine you had 3 companies, and they were in competition with each other. They were all selling stuff. One was selling apples. The other was selling pears. Third one was selling grapes. Okay, now, the customer is looking for apples. They go to the ones that's selling pears or grapes, and they don't have it. They go to the ones that's selling pears, they don't have it. They go to the ones that's selling apples, and they get it. Now imagine if you had a company that had a team. They all worked together. But one person on the team had grapes, other person on the team had pears, other person on the team had apples. But the customer came to the person that had apples, and they were looking for grapes. Instead of them saying, I can't help you, they would take them or direct them to the person that had the grapes. See, when I worked for Circuit City, I used to work in a warehouse. And oftentimes our sales counselors, they would sell stuff on the computer. And I would tell them time and time again, I know what the computer says. The computer says we have 3 in stock, but you need to come back and check. Because what happened is someone will bring one in, and customer service, they'll come over and they'll swap it out, but they haven't gone to the computer system and changed it. Or someone that will come and take one, there's one in the audio department, but someone takes one and put it in the video department, but they don't change it in the computer. So what happened is sales counsel would sell stuff, and it wasn't there. And of course, I'm the person that has to tell them, sir, I'm sorry, but your VCR is not in stock. And of course, they get upset with me. I don't take the person because I realize I'm not the cause of the issue. But instead of me just leaving them there, I would walk them around to the sales council, because sometimes the sales council had moved on to another person. So I didn't have the solution, but I became the solution by walking them back around to the sales council. So what am I saying? You may run into a situation where you have tapped out on your knowledge. You don't know what to do. But that doesn't mean, in fact, that you leave the work undone. Talk to the customer, let them know what's going on, and let them know that you're going to get to the expert. Because I know within this room, there is enough knowledge to handle any problem that comes to this company. And so just being willing to actually tap into each other is so helpful. You know, I mentioned earlier about me working on the information management help desk, and we would sometimes have new customers or new employees come in. And what I started doing was I started making notes. I did a little manual, because when I had to go and set up somebody's new email system, instead of me having to go and say, hey, look, man, can you tell me how do you set that up again? Instead of me having to try to remember all that, I said, okay, step 1, step 2, step 3, okay, thanks. And I put it, and I actually kept it on my computer. So when a new person came in, they said, Sakoni, how do you set up your email system? I'll just pull up here, print, and say here. Because, as I said before, if I don't have to keep coming back and telling you what I told you last week, then I can do something else. But as I said, people, they look at that as value. You are valuable to me because you're willing to share the information that you know. And within this room, there is enough knowledge that whatever problem you run into, whatever problem you face, like I said, you may not have the solution, but you can be the solution by calling in someone else. Sometimes you have to call in reinforcements. Sometimes you have to call in people who know more than you, because the job is too big for you by yourself. You know, that reminds me of a story of this guy. He had recently retired, he was widowed, but he wanted to visit or actually see the sunrise every morning. So he retired to a coastal community. So every morning, like clockwork, he would get up, and he would walk out, and he would see the sunrise, like clockwork, every day. Well, one night, this huge tidal wave washed up a ton of starfish on the seashore. And I mean, as far as the eye could see, you saw nothing but starfish. The man got up and he walked out and he looked, and he saw, as far as the eye could see, nothing but starfish. So he stooped down, picked one up, threw it in the ocean. He stooped down, picked another one up, and threw it in the ocean. Well, there was a married couple. They had just got married, they were on their honeymoon, and they wanted to experience their first married day together watching the sunrise. So they got up and they came out. They saw the same thing he saw. They saw all of these starfish washed up as far as the eye could see on the seashore. But they looked and they saw him stooping down, picking starfish up and throwing them in the sea. And they asked him, said, what are you doing? What kind of impact are you making? What kind of difference are you making with all of these starfish washed up on the seashore? He said, he stooped down, picked one up, and threw it in the sea. He said, I made a difference to that. I made a difference to that. And see, we find ourselves in places where we may not be able to fix everybody's issue, but we can handle the issue that's in front of us. And like I said, even if we can't do it by ourselves, I can get some help. And you know what? That couple, they joined it. They got out there because they realized that even those three could make a difference. And pretty soon, other people came out, and they saw them out there doing, and so they made as big of a difference as they could. And you can do the same thing. You can do the same thing with the people on your route. I mean, they should be able to see you at the ball game, see you in the store, see you in the street, and know you, because they know that you are a professional, that you care about them, about their business, that you want to make sure that they are bug-free and critter-free. They want to make sure that you can do the things that you have been trained to do. Now, I know the third thing that Eric wanted me to talk to you about was making sure that the touch points. And I know dealing, in fact, with the public can be tricky at best, because you never know what somebody's going through, what they're dealing with, and then even you yourself. I know all of us, we have issues and stuff that we face, things that we go through, but learning how to leave that at home or leave that at the door, and when you go to a customer's house, to put your best foot forward. How many of you have ever had like little kids at the house while you were there working? Anybody? Has any of those children asked to come and see your van or just follow you around and see what you do? Anybody? Okay, now, when you go to your van and when you open your van door, are you like my kids? When they open their bedroom door, I don't want you to see what's in here because it's a mess? Or is your van organized? Is it clean? Is it neat? Does a child stand there and be in awe of all of the stuff that you have and how it's lined up? And if not, the question is, let's get it there. Let's make it to where when children, they say, I want to do pest control, or I want to kill bugs, or whatever terminology they use when they look at you. Like when they see you on site, they look up to you. They say, I want to do what you do because you represent yourself so well, so professional. You're solving problems. You're the hero. It's almost like you have on cape and you show up and you make a difference. And so even not just with the adults, but even with the kids, you want to have a lasting impression. Why do you think advertisers spend so much money advertising to children? Because those children are eventually going to grow up and be adults. They're eventually going to grow up and become consumers. They're eventually going to grow up and be the ones that are actually going to be controlling the purse strings. And so even your interaction with children, it means future business. It means continued success. Those kids get up and they get their own place. They say, I remember mom and dad, they had EnSec come by and they take care of their house. Well, I'm gonna call them for me. So, excuse me. So being conscious of that, it helps even when dealing with little kids, because that is so important. Now, I know that there are oftentimes, like you may have the customer that you're helping, maybe a young mother, a single mother, may have small kids, and you may find yourself, she's showing you around the house. If you have to leave and go to your truck or something, please let her know. She needs to know where, if she left you in the kitchen, but she had to go check on the baby and come back and you're in the living room, she's thinking to herself, okay, why are you moving around my house without me there with you? So just let her know what's going on. Keep those lines of communication open, because it is so important, because it settles in their mind, I can trust this person. This person is in my home, but I can trust it. I even talked about not standing too close to somebody. Just making sure that, there is a distance. Even if you have to have them read something or sign something, hand it to them. That way, they can be comfortable and you can be comfortable. But it is so important that you leave a positive experience with the customer, because that means that they'll be willing to call you back. You'll be the first person they think of, especially if you have a routine or a route that you travel and you go to them every month or every other month. It'll help. It will help in the process of them being able to refer you to other people. And that's the way you earn more money. That's the way you can get a bigger paycheck. How many of you have ever referred somebody that did a good job for you? Anybody? Why did you do that? Why did you refer them?
Because you know they're going to do a good job.
Right, exactly. And then even in that case, you may not have the solution, but you become the solution. Someone says, I need someone to work on my air conditioning. And you know someone who does a good job doing that. You don't have a problem with referring them because you know their quality of work. Well, you want the same thing for you. When people are looking for insect and pest control, they need to be able to say, I know a person. I know a guy. Not just a company, because you are the company. You become the face of EnSec. When they see you, when they know you, you become the company. You are representing it. And so own it. Make sure that it's yours. That people know, look, I can trust this person. I will, in fact, refer him. I saw him in the mall, he spoke. I saw him out at, they know you based on how you carry yourself, even on the clock, as well as off the clock as well. Anything else there?
You guys have any questions for Scotty?
Yeah, please.
One of the things important to point out that if you notice customers while they're young, that's how Zeus got his wife, right?
I do want to close with this story here.
Rob the cradle there, Kristen?
I do want to close with this story. Several years ago, the Mobile Business Group was a part of the Chili Cook-Off. And the Chili Cook-Off was a Cancer Society fundraiser that's held every year, I think in January or March. And this year, our group decided to name our group the Crackpot Chili Team. I'm serious, the Crackpot Chili Team. But that wasn't, in fact, the funniest part. The funniest part is that we had a banner made that said Crackpot Chili Team. And we had it on the side of our booth. Well, they made us move to the corner because they had two teams under one tent. So we had to put our banner on the corner. And you can't make this stuff up. When you looked at it from this side, it said Crack Chili. From this side, the pot team. I'm serious, you cannot make it up. I even took pictures of it, it was too funny. But that year I became the spokesperson for the group. And I was out there saying, defending champs, the only reason you came to the chili cook-off was to taste our chili. Everything else is just a distraction. And believe it or not, we had a line of people. They were lined up just because of what I was saying. And I mean, I would even talk to people as they were eating. I said, look, you don't even have to say it, just kind of nod your head. That's good, isn't it? And I mean, we had a ton of people out there. This lady walked up to me and handed me her business card. She said, if you ever want to sell real estate, give me a call. Now, I wasn't out there interviewing. I wasn't out there trying to get a job. But she was watching. And somebody's watching you. Everywhere you go, every day. And I'm not saying that, you're supposed to be out there, in fact, listening for jobs. But if you do your job right, if you do it good, if you do it well enough, somebody's going to want you. But on the other hand, if you don't do it good, if you don't do a well enough job, nobody's going to know. Nobody's going to refer you. Nobody's going to be looking for you. But you want to be the type of employee that other people say, I wish I had that guy on my team. I wish I had that girl on my team. I wish they were a part of our organization. But you can do that. And it starts with you. And I know you can do that. And I just want to thank you for this time and opportunity. Thank you, Eric, for allowing me a chance to talk with you. And if there's any question or anything you want to talk to me about, I'll be happy to meet with you afterwards. Thank you.
Yeah.